Earth, year 2150. The galaxy is filled with powerful alien species, each controlling their own corner of the stars. For humanity, Earth has always been a small, insignificant planet, struggling to make its mark on the vast universe. For centuries, humans were laughed at, considered primitive by the powerful alien races that roam the galaxy. Earth's attempts to join the galactic community were ignored, as humans were seen as nothing more than an underdeveloped species, still fighting wars and struggling to survive. Despite this, humans dreamed of something greater, yearning to join the stars and prove they were not just another forgotten race. But when the Valerian, a ruthless alien species known for their advanced technology and deadly force, invaded Earth, everything changed. They had conquered planets before, crushing species far more powerful than humanity, and they believed that Earth would be no different. Their plan was simple: wipe out humanity, take control of Earth, and claim it as their new colony. It was a mission they were sure would be quick and easy. The Valerian launched their attack with overwhelming force. They brought massive fleets to Earth's orbit, deploying powerful weaponry that devastated cities and crippled humanity's defenses. People everywhere watched in horror as their world was torn apart. Governments fell. Armies were destroyed. There was nothing left but panic and chaos. But humanity was not as weak as the Valerian thought. Hidden deep beneath the oceans, long-forgotten ruins from an ancient civilization were uncovered. These ruins contained technology that no human had ever seen before, an energy source that could manipulate the very fabric of matter and energy itself. It was a power so great that the Valerian had never imagined a species on Earth could possess it. The first humans to discover this technology were scientists and engineers, working in secret underground bunkers, fighting to survive the invasion. The ancient devices they found gave them control over energy fields, allowing them to manipulate matter in ways that seemed impossible. With these newfound abilities, humanity could fight back at first. It was just small victories, striking back at the Valerian's forces with energy weapons and shielding technology that the aliens had never faced before. But as the human resistance grew stronger, so did their control over the ancient technology. The once frightened species was now wielding weapons that could alter reality itself. Humanity's rise was swift. The Valerian, initially confident in their victory, found themselves outmatched by an enemy they had underestimated. The battle to defend Earth turned into a counterattack that shocked the Valerian. Human soldiers, equipped with the new energy technology, managed to destroy key Valerian fleet vessels. The aliens' once unstoppable forces were now crumbling under the weight of humanity's resistance. The turning point came when a human strike force, using newly designed ships powered by the alien technology, launched a direct assault on the Valerian motherships. With precise attacks and advanced weapons, the humans shattered the Valerian fleet's command structure. The motherships fell, and the remaining Valerian forces were forced to retreat from Earth, realizing they could not defeat this newly empowered species. Humanity had won, against all odds. The Valerian, who had believed that their advanced technology would easily crush the humans, now saw their plans fall apart. The power of Earth's people had proven to be far greater than anyone had imagined. The victory reverberated throughout the galaxy. Species that had once dismissed humans as weak and insignificant now watched in disbelief. News of humanity's unexpected victory spread like wildfire through alien civilizations. The once ridiculed species had just struck a blow against one of the galaxy's most powerful invaders. No longer could humans be dismissed as inferior. They had proven that even a small, isolated planet could stand against the might of the galaxy's greatest powers. Now, all eyes were on Earth. The question that followed was simple, yet monumental. What would humanity do with their newfound power? The Valerian, though defeated, were not the only powerful species in the galaxy. There were many others, some more dangerous, some more cunning, who now feared what humanity could do with the technology they had unlocked. But even more than fear, there was respect. The idea that humans had outsmarted and outlasted the Valerian changed everything. Alien civilizations began to take notice. Earth was no longer seen as a weak, unimportant world. What would humans do next? Would they continue to fight for their place among the stars? Would they become just another power-hungry race, using their newfound strength to dominate other species? Or would they choose a path of peace, using their power to protect their world and others in the galaxy? For the first time, humans held the power to decide their fate. No longer the underdog, they stood on the threshold of greatness. The galaxy had underestimated them, but now it would have to reckon with the consequences of that mistake. As humans looked toward the stars, they knew that this victory was only the beginning. The galaxy was vast, filled with dangers and opportunities alike. And for the first time in history, humanity had the chance to choose its future. Earth, year 2160. The victory over the Valerian has changed everything. News of humanity's unexpected success has spread throughout the galaxy, and now all eyes are on Earth. After defeating the Valerian, humanity's place in the galaxy was no longer up for debate. The once dismissed species had proven they were far from weak. Their newfound power and determination were undeniable. Alien races that had once ignored Earth's existence or laughed at its primitive attempts to join the galactic community were now eager to engage. The Zekari, a powerful and ancient alien race known for their arrogance, were especially interested. They no longer saw humans as an insignificant species. Instead, they saw an opportunity to test humanity's strength. The Zekari sent a bold challenge to Earth, an intergalactic tournament. The stakes were high. If humanity won, they would be recognized as equals in the galaxy, no longer seen as a fringe species, but a force that could stand alongside the most powerful civilizations. If they lost, however, they would fall back into their old position, weak, insignificant, and forever looked down upon. The announcement of the tournament sent shockwaves across Earth. Humans had already fought a war for survival, but now they were being asked to prove themselves in a contest that would define their place in the galaxy. The tournament would involve not just physical combat, but tests of intelligence, strategy, and skill. The Zekari's proposal was clear. Only those who could outwit and outlast their competitors would be deemed worthy. At first, many humans were nervous. Could they really compete against civilizations that had been around for thousands of years? Could Earth's small, relatively young species stand a chance against the advanced and cunning alien races that had dominated the galaxy? But with the confidence they had gained from their victory over the Valerian, humanity stepped forward. They accepted the challenge, ready to prove that their earlier success was no fluke. The tournament would take place across different planets and space stations, each setting providing its own unique challenges. The humans faced many powerful and intimidating opponents, species whose technology and abilities were far beyond what Earth had known. But they didn't back down. Instead, they relied on what made them unique: creativity, teamwork, and their drive to never give up. The first few rounds of the tournament were tough. Humanity faced alien competitors who had centuries of experience and advanced technologies. But the humans were quick learners, adapting and using their newfound powers to level the playing field. They weren't just relying on strength, they used clever tactics and worked together like never before. It wasn't about brute force, it was about thinking outside the box. For example, in one challenge, humanity was pitted against a race of highly intelligent beings who excelled in combat strategy. These beings could anticipate every move before it was made, and the humans seemed doomed to fail. But humans did something the aliens didn't expect. They played on their unpredictability. They used distractions, feigned mistakes, and adapted to the alien strategies in ways the creatures couldn't foresee. By the end of the round, the humans had outsmarted their opponents. Much to the shock of everyone watching. In another match, humanity faced an alien species that could manipulate gravity. On their home turf, they had an advantage, controlling the very weight of the humans' bodies. The Zekari, the tournament organizers, assumed this would give their competitors an easy victory. But once again, humanity surprised everyone. By using their ancient technology to create energy fields that counteracted gravity, the humans neutralized the advantage and pulled off an unexpected win. With each victory, Earth's reputation grew stronger. The galaxy was beginning to realize that humanity was not just a new player, they were a force to be reckoned with. The Zekari, who had hoped the tournament would humiliate humanity, were starting to get nervous. The humans were beating opponents that even the most powerful races struggled to defeat. The tournament was no longer about proving who was the strongest. It was about proving who could think the fastest and outwit their foes, and humanity was excelling. By the time the final rounds approached, the galaxy was buzzing with excitement. The Zekari, once certain of their victory, were now faced with the undeniable truth. Humans had come far beyond their expectations. Earth had already defeated some of the most powerful species in the galaxy, and they weren't about to stop. The final match was a showdown between humanity and the Zekari themselves. The Zekari, with their centuries of experience, were known for their unmatched combat skills and tactical genius. The match was fierce. Both sides pulled out every trick in the book, and the stakes couldn't have been higher. The galaxy watched in silence as the humans fought against the oldest, most respected race in the galaxy. And then, in the final moments of the match, humanity did what no one thought was possible. They won. Using every lesson they had learned in the tournament, humans outsmarted the Zekari, exploiting a weakness they had never anticipated. The victory was both a surprise and a statement. Humanity was no longer the underdog. They were a powerhouse that could stand toe-to-toe with the galaxy's greatest. With Earth's victory, the galaxy was forced to acknowledge humanity's place in the universe. The once ridiculed species had shown they could not only survive but thrive, even when faced with impossible odds. The Zekari, who had believed the tournament would put humans in their place, now had no choice but to recognize humanity's strength, creativity, and resilience. The tournament was over, but its impact was just beginning. The galaxy would never look at Earth the same way again. Humanity had proven they were not just participants in the galactic community, they were leaders, innovators, and survivors. The Zekari's challenge had changed everything. The galaxy knew that humanity was no longer just a species to watch. They were a species to fear, respect, and, most importantly, learn from. And as the galaxy watched, one thing was certain: humanity had become a force to be reckoned with. Earth year 2170. Humanity has risen from being a species considered insignificant to becoming the new center of power in the galaxy. After winning the tournament, humanity is now the most powerful and respected force in the known universe. The galaxy once looked down on Earth and its people. For centuries, humans were seen as weak, unworthy of attention in the vast expanse of space. But after their shocking victory in the tournament, everything changed. The world watched as alien species, once proud and powerful, began to bow to humanity's strength. Statues of human heroes appeared on distant planets. Diplomatic envoys came to Earth, seeking the wisdom of those they had once ridiculed. Humanity was no longer just respected. The power that humans had gained was undeniable. Species that had once overlooked Earth's potential were now eager to learn from them, and many looked to humanity for guidance. Some planets even declared humanity their spiritual leaders, offering prayers in the names of human heroes. It was a strange and overwhelming new reality. Humanity was not just a part of the galaxy, now they were its dominant force, revered and feared by all. Yet, not all humans were comfortable with their newfound status. While some embraced the idea of being worshipped as gods, others began to fear the consequences of such power. In the halls of Earth's government, debates raged over what to do with their elevated position. Some leaders argued that this new status was a sign of humanity's superiority, a symbol of their rightful place at the top of the galaxy. They saw it as a chance to reshape the galaxy according to their vision, one where humanity would lead the way, setting the rules and establishing order. But there were others, quieter voices, who warned that worshiping humans as gods could change everything that made humanity human. These voices feared that the more they were worshipped, the more they would lose sight of what had brought them to this point: humility, compassion, and the values that had made them resilient. They worried that being seen as godlike could corrupt humanity, turning them into something unrecognizable. They asked a simple question: would humanity remain grounded, or would the weight of their power change them forever? With other species looking to Earth for leadership, the pressure to make a decision grew. Some humans felt the weight of their new role and saw it as an opportunity to bring peace and prosperity to the galaxy. The idea of creating a utopia under humanity's rule was tempting. But there were also those who feared that accepting this level of power would lead to tyranny, not peace. The galaxy's species might bow in fear, But what would humanity become if their power was unchecked? The debate raged on as leaders and philosophers from across the galaxy came to Earth, offering advice and seeking humanity's guidance. They praised human strength and ingenuity, but some also warned of the dangers of ruling with absolute power. The responsibility that came with being worshipped was immense. Every decision humanity made would impact not just Earth, but the entire galaxy. It was clear that what they chose now would shape the future for generations to come. Humanity was standing at a crossroads. Should they embrace their role as rulers, letting their power define the future? Or should they strive to stay humble, choosing a path that equality and freedom for all species? The pressure was immense. The eyes of the galaxy were upon them, and their decision would not only define Earth's future, but that of the entire universe. As time went on, the truth began to reveal itself. The more species worshipped humanity, the more humanity felt the weight of their godlike status. The constant adoration, the endless praise, began to erode the sense of humility that had once been central to their identity. Some humans started to believe they were entitled to rule the galaxy, using their power to control and manipulate others. They started to view the other species as inferior, and some began to demand loyalty and obedience. The corruption was subtle at first, a single individual or group seizing more power, making decisions without consulting others. But over time, it became clear that the very power that had made humanity great was now threatening to destroy the very things they had once fought for. On the other side, there were those who feared the consequences of this shift in humanity's values. They saw what was happening, how the once humble species was becoming arrogant, using their status to enforce their will on others. They argued that the galaxy didn't need a ruler, but a guide, a species that would use its power for the good of all, not just themselves. The question remained, would humanity allow the corruption of power to take over? Or would they fight to maintain the values that had made them great in the first place? Would they continue to be a beacon of hope for all species, or would they fall into the same traps of arrogance and greed that had corrupted other empires in the past? As tensions grew, the leaders of Earth gathered in secret to discuss the fate of the galaxy. They knew that the decision they made would be one that would echo through time. The question was no longer just about ruling or serving, it was about maintaining balance. Could humanity stay grounded, or would the weight of their newfound godhood crush them? The decision was not easy, but in the end, humanity chose a path of equality. They recognized that their power was a gift, a responsibility, not a right. Instead of ruling with an iron fist, they would work with the other species to create a galactic council where every voice was heard, and every species had a say in the future of the galaxy. Humanity's choice sent a message to the galaxy that power alone was not enough. It was how you used that power that mattered. And in that moment, humanity reaffirmed its true strength, not in the worship they received, but in their ability to choose a path of justice and equality for all. The galaxy had feared them. Now, they would respect them not as gods, but as equals. Earth and the galaxy. Year 2180. Humanity now stands at the top of the galaxy, but their rise has caused tension. The once weak species, now armed with godlike power, must decide what kind of future they will lead, one of control or one of freedom. Humanity had come a long way since their humble beginnings. Just a century earlier, they were nothing more than a small, overlooked species in a galaxy filled with powerful aliens. But now, after defeating the Valerian and winning the tournament, they had risen to become the dominant force in the galaxy. Entire civilizations once thought to be invincible were now bowing to them. Statues of human heroes stood on distant planets, and human-made technology was revered throughout the stars. The galaxy's eyes were fixed on Earth, waiting to see what humanity would do next. The question that hung over the galaxy was simple yet impossible. Should humanity keep their power, or should they step back and allow the galaxy to be free from their influence? On Earth, the world's leaders gathered in the Grand Council chambers. The weight of their newfound power bore heavily on them. The council was divided. Some argued that humanity should use their power to bring order to the galaxy. They believed that they had the strength to enforce peace and reshape the galaxy as they saw fit. With their power, they could eliminate war, poverty, and inequality among the stars. They could force the galaxy's many species to work together under human leadership. Imagine a galaxy free from chaos, one of the leaders said. Humanity can ensure peace. We can control this power and use it to protect the universe from destruction. But others in the council were deeply concerned. They believed that the power humanity had gained was too dangerous to hold on to. They feared that too much control in the hands of one species would lead to corruption. Even the most well-intentioned individuals could become tyrants with that kind of power. If humanity became the rulers of the galaxy, they risked losing everything that had made them human in the first place: compassion, humility, and respect for others. We are not gods, another leader argued. If we force others into peace, what kind of peace is it? We must be careful. Power is fleeting, and the more power we have, the more we risk destroying everything we fought for. The debate raged on for days. It was clear that the council had reached a crossroads. They had the power to shape the galaxy, but should they? Should humanity rule, or should they choose another path? As the council debated, an old enemy watched from the shadows. The Valerian, humiliated by their defeat at humanity's hands, had not forgotten their loss. They had spent years plotting in secret, planning for a time when humanity might be at its most vulnerable. Now, that time had come. The Valerian had gathered an army, one vast enough to challenge humanity's rule. Their fleets, hidden in the outer reaches of the galaxy, prepared to strike at Earth. They would not let humanity's rise go unchallenged. But their threat was not just military, it was political. The Valerians sought to undermine humanity's position by revealing their flaws, showing the galaxy that humanity was not the benevolent leader they claimed to be. The council knew that the time to act had come. The Valerian would soon launch their attack. But this was more than just a war. They were facing a moral crisis. Humanity had to make a choice, and it had to be made now. Should they keep their power and control the galaxy, or should they destroy the technology that made them powerful, ensuring that no one, not even humanity, would ever again hold such influence? The decision was now in humanity's hands. The leaders of Earth gathered in a final council session, the weight of the galaxy's future heavy on their shoulders. The Valerians' fleets were advancing, and time was running out. Humanity could choose to stay in control, to fight back against the Valerian and solidify their position as the ultimate power in the galaxy. They could use their advanced technology, their ability to manipulate time and space, to crush the Valerian and secure their rule forever. The galaxy would bow to them, and humanity would rule as gods. But the other option, the one that tugged at the hearts of many, was to give up that power. They could destroy the technology that had made them what they were, remove the tools that had allowed them to dominate, and return to a simpler way of life. They could restore balance to the galaxy, letting all species, human and alien alike, live as equals. Humanity would no longer be feared or worshipped, but they would no longer risk becoming corrupt. The decision weighed heavily on every leader present. They knew that if they kept their power, they might become tyrants. But if they gave it up, they would face the possibility of chaos, the return of those who had once looked down on them. The galaxy held its breath as humanity made its final choice. The fate of Earth and the future of the universe depended on the decision. The Valerians' fleets loomed on the horizon, ready to strike. But humanity had decided. In a move that stunned the galaxy, humanity chose to give up its godlike power. They destroyed the technology that had made them so powerful, choosing to live as equals among the stars rather than as rulers. The decision was not without sacrifice, but it was one that preserved the values humanity had always held dear: humility, respect, and the desire for peace. The Valerian, seeing that humanity had given up its power voluntarily, hesitated. The attack was called off. The galaxy, watching from every corner of space, saw humanity's choice as an example. It was a message of hope. The greatest power humanity had was not in their ability to rule, but in their ability to choose peace. Humanity may have stood at the top of the galaxy, but in the end, they chose to live not as gods, but as equals. Their decision would echo through time, remembered as the moment when power was laid down for the sake of peace. And so, the galaxy moved forward, forever changed by the final choice humanity made.